Look at the look on the face of Kyle Brown, eyes wide and glaring, so excited to be here in this final. Simon Amor, you saw, this is his third final since taking over as the England coach. He lost in Wellington, 27-21 to New Zealand, and 2014 to Hong Kong to New Zealand, 26-7. But he's in with a royal chance here. As I say, England last won a tournament in Wellington, 2013, but they were coached then by Ben Ryan.
Yeah, Simon Amor just highlighting about ball security in these conditions, and you see he only gave Charlie Hayter one ball deep and he scored a try, so Northern give it earlier.
So there's South African to the left is Quokka Smith. Second half begins. 10 minutes to disappointment, 10 minutes to glory. In the Tokyo 7 final, 2015, there is a classic Falcon. It hit Horn right on the face. It's hard to get past the fact that it's slippery. Oh, a couple of Englishmen running first and second. Where's the bounce going? Mitchell! Try, early start, second half for Mitchell. Tom Mitchell, the England captain.
What a great heads-up play by Tom Mitchell, using the kick to great effect. They got the turnover. He has a look up, see where his speed's at, and he chases his own kick. No one in behind for South Africa. They get caught napping, and it pops up beautifully. Werner Kok can do nothing about that. He's too late. What a time to score for England right after the half, only seconds gone.
2 tries scored as a result of ball kicking through and skidding across the turf, which is well lubricated and slippery. So that might play more of a part in the outcome.
Well, it's just playing smart, isn't it, Keith, to be fair? These conditions so difficult with these kicks to turn and chase.
We hope wherever you are in the world watching this, according to figures handed to us, potentially 300 million households will be taking these pictures from Tokyo tonight from here across 145 countries. This is the new Olympic sport. Less than 500 days to go till the 2016 Summer Olympic Games. And now Kiddled again. Oh, he's handed off Burgess. Mitchell comes across. Brave stuff from the captain. What's he doing? Lost forward. Slippery over there in front of the umbrellas.
You've got to have better ball security at the breakdown. This is what they try to do from the first kickoff. South Africa, on that occasion, it hit Frankie Horn in the head, and England ended up scoring. On this occasion, South Africa goes through and passes it to Hidalgo on that side, and I thought he was going to chip and chase for himself. Decides to take it into the setup and loses it forward, but good raid by the South Africans.
Catch. Fine.
So, Carl, do you think we'll see it go out wide, even though these conditions are proving to be very difficult? Do you think they'll play it more with kicks up the centre?
I think in this position, England will look to kick it here, Keith.
So that means the guys out wide like Norton, like Sinatla, the guys that play out where the wheels spin, they might be not seeing so much of the action in this one because of the conditions. And it's a rarity to see rain in a sevens final. We tend to follow the sun.
Yes, indeed, but rugby's a game for all. You have to be adaptable, and that's the thing about the game of sevens. You have to play for all conditions and all types of situations.
Bibby, there it is. Sinatla hurrying back. There's a bit of a trampoline bounce, but there's the kick again. There's the bounce. He's got it. He's dangerous. Ciabello Sinatla, one of the fastest guys on the tour. Werner Kok, Frankie Horn, not one of the fastest guys on the tour, but he's a workhorse, that man. Quokka Smith. Slippery when their bodies are wet from the rain and the grass. And there's the goal line. The ball is spinning to the left. Kok with Mitchell all over him. And now Burgess is having a go from halfway. This is amazing, Phil Burgess. He's not supposed to run the length of the field to score, but that's what happens in finals footy.
Well, defence will win you tournaments, Keith. That's exactly what the English team did. They got back in numbers. There's the turnover. Vernicock arguing the point. Burgess just realises the situation. He taps it and goes. And look at him here. He burns off one of the playmakers, Justin Dalton. He shouldn't do that. It's a back on a forward. And the forward wins this one just because of pure determination.
You know, he's always been quick enough to cover the backs if necessary. And there's a classic example. But he's been having his legs knocked around in the physical battle up front, and he's a loose forward in the 15, so maybe they're not the fastest guys in the game at any description, but that's a classic thing that can happen to break open a game, and England have done just that. They've gone past the 7-point cushion. But it's not all over yet. Beautifully taken, Kyle Brown. Chris Dry onto the field. Vernicock. There's Burgess. There's Sinatra slipping away from Burgess. And now coming into the game is Roscoe Speckman off the substitutes bench. And away goes Sinatra's pass. Changes on the field for South Africa. Smith, 22 metres line. Advantage, South Africa.
Go quick here as they normally do. Chris Dry, here he goes. Do South Africa have something left?
Oh, his pass wasn't the best. It wasn't out front. But they'll get the break anyway. And it's a try for Africa. He made one in the first half. He gets one in the second.
Well, the replacements coming on, they're doing their job. Neil Powell.
Stephen White entry.
Very smart with his substitutions. This to make it a converted try to even it up. So 7-point differential now. Chris Dry takes it quickly. Sees that all the defence comes in and around him. A nice offload there from Sinatra. Good hands too from South Africa. That was down on his toes. Takes it right underneath the post for him to make an easy conversion.
More subs happening, but this time on the white side of the stripe. Well, here's a good one coming on for England. John Brake, very solid, but he can be brilliant too.
Come on.
So now England are not outside the 7-point cushion. South Africa could tie the game up with another try and conversion. Giving lots of advice to the referee.
Kickoff so important in the game of sevens. I thought he actually had his knee down. James Rodwell been so big at kickoff time. These are these moments I talk about in finals football, Keith. Making the right decisions. Vernicock's going to go to the wing. Siobella Sinatla's going to come into the second 5 position.
So Speckman, Roscoe Speckman coming back into the team. And what is the referee rule here?
We're the same scrum again, please.
Clock ticks. Referee is not a newcomer. Richard Kelly. It's his 3rd year on the tour. It's his first final. He's done 5 semi-finals before. He did one last week in Hong Kong.
5, 6.
Got to get it in quick, Speckman, because look at that clock, top left. It's clicking. We looked over the shoulder here of Neil Powell.
Same goes on their scrum. That's stable on your ball. Stable on theirs.
There was Speckman, the 25-year-old. Made his debut last year in Wellington.
6.
They need the try very quick. And there's the push forward. That man was in front, I think. It bounced away, and Norton has it. And Norton puts the ball to his boot. What did you think, Carl? Was he in front?
Yeah, we're right in line with Keith, and I think he was a couple metres in front, Siobala Sanatla. But again, just using the kick option as they like to do, the different variations. South Africa just so aware of the situation. Another opportunity for Africa here.
Less than a minute to play. The leading team on the tour is South Africa. They've won twice this year. They won in Dubai and they won in Port Elizabeth, South Africa, and then they finished in third place for 3 tournaments in a row. Are the fates going to be cruel for South Africa here in the last seconds to deny them victory again?
Well, this England team has really played to its strength. They come with a plan and they've executed it to a T. Simon Amor spoke about him earlier on, that he is such a thinker of the game. As a player, he always was. There he is, there and now. As a coach, he really has come to the fore.
4 times as a player, he won the Hong Kong tournament.
Still have to be accurate here. 6 seconds left on the clock here, England. So South Africa will compete. This is the money time for James Rodwell.
So there it is. The siren will go. And it's a good throw and a good catch and a fine kick to touch by England's captain, Tom Mitchell. And the game is over. And it's a very fine victory for England here at the Tokyo Sevens. They've beaten South Africa by 21 to 14. The South Africans were good enough to make the final, but their good enough was not enough in the final. So a fantastic effort by England. It's their first win in 2 years on the tour.
So, Simon, Keith Quinn and Carl Tanana talking about how great you were as a player. Now as a coach, where does this rank for you?
I mean, I'm incredibly proud of the guys, to be fair. You know, it's not about me as a player or as a coach, it's about the boys. They've worked so hard these last few weeks, and we're measuring ourselves on effort and attitude. And it wasn't pretty rugby this weekend from a lot of teams, I think, but we carried on grafting, and I'm incredibly proud of them.
How much added pressure knowing that you were in 5th spot and that you desperately wanted to qualify in that and grab that 4th spot that Australia had?
No, not really. You know, we're trying to be better than we were last year, and a key goal for us was to win a tournament, and we've done that now. It's quite good. But we haven't quite the strategy we wanted to in previous tournaments. A lot of injuries this year, so that's disrupted our preparations. But and the way they fought and got that win this time around is great, and it's good for us to build on going forward. This
going live back to Sky Sport back in the UK. Obviously, everybody up and celebrating with you. How much is this going to boost and give you a lead heading into that home series?
Oh, it's fantastic. I think the Twickenham Sevens in particular is already going to be a massive, massive event. It'll be a great climax to what will be a fantastic series. And, you know, like I say, just one more time, I'm so proud of the players. They've worked so hard for this. They thoroughly deserve it.
Congratulations, Simon. Enjoy the moment.
Thanks.
So there is the winning coach of the England team. Yes, those 2 tournaments remain, one in Glasgow and one at Twickenham.
Tom, talk to me. Tell everybody watching in the UK what's going through your mind at the moment.
Unbelievably pleased. Unbelievably proud to be part of this group, not just this 12, but we've got guys at home who work so hard and, you know, unfortunately couldn't be here for their injury or whatever other reasons, but this is a huge effort for the group. We work so hard when we're back at home and that no one sees, and we come out here and we always try our best, and you know, so grateful for everyone who's come out to support us. We're so pleased that we could deliver this.
Difficult conditions earlier this morning, the victory against France. How much confidence did that lead you into the semis?
I mean, our confidence is always, you know, it's always something we're trying to build, and it's been a bit of a messy tournament all round. I think it's been a bit of a topsy-turvy one, and I'm just so pleased with the way we stuck to it and stuck to our processes and really believed in what we could do.
How crucial was that second half and scoring first?
Yeah, massive. It always is, especially in a final. Though when it's 10 minutes each way, you've got to stick to your guns, and South Africa, an unbelievable team. They've shown it all series, and we're always going to have to fight to the death with that one, so really pleased.
You're a terrific captain. Enjoy the moment.
Thanks. Cheers.
Well done, Tom Mitchell and England. You know, that England team was beaten yesterday by Fiji 33-19. So it has been some topsy-turvy form here. But we felt in the commentary box from all the colleagues, Carl, that some of the players were hurting from the effort of last week.
Oh, most definitely, Keith. But that's the beauty of the game of sevens. You might lose a game on day one and not perform the way you wanted to, but the second day gives you an opportunity to make up for that, and that's what this England team's done. I like the way Simon Amor deflected everything from him and put it back on his playing group. I think that really shows the attitude of this English side.
Well, weren't there some wonderful moments? Here's a poignant moment for the South African team. They're locked in prayer, as you see. They had 3 third places and a second place in the last 4 tournaments, but they've won twice on this tour and they lead the tour. So heads up for the South African team. They retain the lead on the HSBC World Series, and they'll be looking to clinch that in the next 2 tournaments. So there's the chant for England, and my word, we saw some wonderful moments in the final, and time to reflect on how the players so intelligently used the conditions.
Jeff, congratulations on that try that you scored. Talk me through it and what was going through your mind.
Well, I mean, I saw there was no one at home, and I thought if I could get at least 10-15, then I thought maybe Marcus or Dan Norton was going to be outside me. I got about 15 and no one else was there, so I thought I had to get my head down and just charge. So, fortunately enough, I had enough in the tank left, so I couldn't complain.
You're an inspiration for loose forwards because it was the fastest men in World Rugby that were chasing you. And how crucial was it to get that try at that time?
I think it was really important. I mean, South Africa were pressing and pressing, and it was some really gutsy work at the breakdown that forced a penalty. And sometimes in sevens, that's what it's about. You take that quick tap penalty when people think you might kick to the corner or something like that. And, we caught them a little bit off guard, and we just managed to go the length and score. So it was what we needed.
Glasgow next. How much confidence do you take from Tokyo?
I mean, we've been building and we've been working on our processes and really trying to put in a performance that that will get the result. And today everything sort of fell into place for us, but I think we can just keep building and building. We've still got those processes, and sometimes the bounce of a ball goes the wrong way for you and you don't win those games, but as long as we can get those processes, we'll hopefully get another result like this.
Worthy champions. Enjoy Tokyo tonight, mate.
Thank you very much.
That's Phil Burgess. He actually is one of the leaders of the England team. He led the team in the absence of Tom Mitchell earlier in the season in Australia in the first tournament. So he's one of the leaders there, but that was a fantastic run, wasn't it, Carlton Nana?
Oh, at the most important time in this game. They were under the pump for a long time in defence. You can see there, he took it quickly, he realised the situation. He put in a big shift over the weekend, did Phil Burgess, and he deserves all the plaudits, but that's what you get from a loose forward. You get hard, tough, uncompromising footy, and he really summed up the attitude of this English team over the weekend.
To repeat, England have beaten South Africa 21-14. But South Africa continue to lead the HSBC World Sevens Series, and they will have increased their lead by their win here over England. They'll have increased their lead at the top. And now we're going to see the presentations. First of all, there's the presentation to the England team, which will be watched by the South African players.
Mr. Tatsuo Yabe, World Rugby Council Member and Chairman of Japan Rugby Football Union. HSBC Sevens World Series 東京セブンス2015カップトーナメント優勝はイングランド代表です。And ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the cup champions of the HSBC Sevens World Series Tokyo Sevens 2015.
Best examples of Japanese efficiency. They've constructed a beautiful stage on the field for the presentation at the end of the Cup games, and we're going to see the mugs presented to each of the winning players, and they're presented by the Managing Director, Head of Banking for HSBC Japan, Mr. Yoshikazu Kato, and the World Rugby Council member and Chairman of the Japan Rugby Football Union, Tatsuo Yabe. And well done, South Africa, applauding with heavy hearts. Of course, they did not win, but they gave it plenty in the final. And there it is, the England squad of 12 have received commemorative drinking mugs, and time for them to celebrate now, and the handing over of the trophy, which is the big moment. And here it comes from Mr. Yabe to Tom Mitchell and England. HSBC Sevens World Series, Tokyo 2015, and the winners are England. Great celebration for England. Disappointing to see the South African team so heavy in the heart, but look what they have done. They are in the lead still on the table, so well done to them. They've gone up to 129 points, Fiji 125, New Zealand 120, and there's England now by their victory. They've opened up a 9-point lead over Australia. Now the gold signals automatic qualifying for the Olympic Games, but it's not decided yet. There are 2 more tournaments to go, and there's the photograph that will be in the papers here tomorrow and around the rugby world. That is one happy captain of England. And there's the inevitable selfie to go up, and you'll see that one. That's the official HSBC selfie being done. We look now at the draw for Glasgow, the next tournament stop, and you'll see that England will play in Pool A against France, Australia and Russia. Pool B, South Africa and New Zealand and Samoa will be joined by Kenya in Pool B. Pool C will see Fiji, Scotland, Wales and Portugal. And Pool D will feature Canada, Japan, United States and Argentina. That's the pool for the Glasgow Sevens in Gordonston next month. So we've had a wonderful tournament here over 2 days. We've had some marvellous hospitality in the city of Tokyo. Your commentators here in Tokyo have been Wyn Griffith, Scott Hastings, Willie Losay and Carlton Hanna. We thank our host broadcasting company from Tokyo, our friends J-Sport from Proactive TV, Thomasina Kay and Rudy DeVee. Our graphics, the statistics and scoring are produced and presented by manager Sean Glover and the HG Vision staff. Feature stories and highlights have come from Gary Jenkins and the 78-70 team. 3 days of rugby, 45 matches have been directed by World Rugby's touring director, Steve Jamieson, from Chichibu Stadium in Tokyo. We are the crew who have loved being here, all of us celebrating a win for England tonight. I'm Keith Quinn. Good evening.